Fight Club. Good morning, welcome to a Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Wednesday the 3rd of December. So we've got in store today then, firstly news. There's not a great deal of news due out today. Sorry, I was just reading the other news service there. But we do have the ADP non-farm payrolls. There are some numbers coming out. They're lower key data, whether in the absence of big numbers coming out, the lower data will have more impact. Well, we'll have to wait and see. But ADP figures, again, got non-farm payrolls that aren't programmed here for me at the moment on Friday, so would suggest that we ain't going to see those, in which case the ADP figure will have more impact potentially. Lots going on there, including Trump speaking this evening. This evening, 7:30 there. We've got Lagarde speaking at 3:30 due to testifying the capacity as European System and Risk Board Chair. Okay, that'll be interesting. ISM Services PMI, right? That's a big number normally. If it's up to date, right? Okay, it will be. It sounds it's a third-party measurement. Right, so there are numbers that if you go beyond the surface, there's a lot of other numbers coming through here, but a lot of these don't generally impact the market too much. Right, let's get on. Look at the technicals. Starting off then, looking at the euro dollar, and we're going to look at this from a daily first. So looking at the daily, it continued pushing up this morning. It finished up on near its high yesterday. Continuing to push up on this 4-hourly picture. You can see the weekly. It's looking like it's heading up for its quarterly pivot. Now, it has been up there before. It's been all through it before, so it's not a first time hit or anything that much of a draw. Bit of an awkward position where we're sitting at the moment. You can see it on the 4-hourly. I mean, we've still got an hour or two. An hour. What time is this bar? It's 6 o'clock, so 10 o'clock. So 2 hours to 2 hours and 8 minutes for it to run. But it does look a bit on the soft side. Obviously, you'll see the double top. You can see it even clearer on the hourlies here. It's actually a triple or quadruple top if you look back historically on this level. We'll see what it does here. Personally, I don't really want to be shorting it. It's the overall market here has been positive. Yes, it might come off a bit. It's got an untouched daily pivot, but it has already run into the R1 and the R2, which makes the probability of that being hit substantially lower, around about 20% or something in that region. So it's not a top trade there at the moment. It's not to say it won't come that back, and there might be signals that you see that suggest it more likely to come back. Of course, these markets have got a little bit overbought in the short time frame, and potentially. Okay, the pound, well, it's showing a continuation this morning. It was a bit duller, although it didn't close too far away from its highs yesterday. I'm not surprised that this is much more slower than what we're seeing with the euro, etc. But it had got a bit of the bid there through the Asian session here. It's pushed up quite well. Again, though, it's doing the same sort of thing, not double topping, but it has got the doji into the R2 sitting there. Now this has clipped the pivot on the way through, so not looking quite so positive there. Again, though, for me, it's gone too far at this stage. We'll see how it gets on. The US dollar yen. So I was looking at the big trend yesterday on this, and the trend has largely still been pushing upside on this. However you look at it, it's been pushing largely to the upside. We're within one standard deviation of the actual main trend line here at the moment. Yesterday it held into that and just a bit playing stubborn for those that really want to be on the short side. Now the 4 hourlies is suggesting that it is weaker. It has got lower highs. It had broken the structure of the price action there. So there is potential for this to roll over a bit more yet. Again, though, we've seen it sort of movement. It's not so deep. If things are going to turn around with the other markets and the pound euro starts selling off, well, this becomes a bit more of a potential also to push the upside, obviously, because it's US dollar yen. So with the dollar strengthening, could see it running up towards yesterday's highs, maybe touching into the R1 there. But we're looking at a single candle at the moment, a single bit of price action. Things change quite quickly post 8 o'clock, and you've just got to watch out for these. One thing's for sure, I mentioned it yesterday and I keep mentioning it, we're seeing some of the best price action in the afternoons. The Aussie no exception to this, and it's one that if you don't catch it in the morning, wait for the afternoon and you might get onto it something. This is continuing to push to the upside here. Looking at it on the shorter time frame, it's struggling in the morning to go anywhere. It remains my favourite to do better against the US dollar at this stage. You might have got in yesterday afternoon on it. It's still ugly. It's horrendously choppy, but it's gone this morning at the moment. Now it's back into its quarterly pivot. So it's the opposite side of it. Whether that'll hold, we'll wait to see. But again, if you're looking to gradually get into something like the Aussie dollar for a longer hold, well, what day are we? Wednesday. Still got scope, but wait for the afternoon to see if it gives you a signal. Certainly was the afternoon, as I say, 1 o'clock-ish yesterday when that started moving it back in the right direction to confirm the move. US dollar CAD's all over the shop here. It did that lower high, that's been confirmed. It's yesterday it continued to gain. It moved quite nicely off that pivot there overall, and it's been gradually moving through. It took a while to get there, but it's moving quite nice, still sort of working on, and now this is a perfect sort of setup. Now this is a 4-hour picture, but you could just use the weekly pivots, he says. Where's it gone? Oh, there it is. Going far too back. There you go. You look at the weekly pivots on an hourly picture and get the picture from this, and you see it started rolling off there about midday-ish, depending on your attitude to risk here, whether you take it in towards the 50, etc. But the key moving averages were rolling down at this point anyway, so you can still use these higher time frame pivots using shorter term price action to get into the trades. And in the current situation, it's probably where you need to be. But anyway, that worked out quite nicely. Even if you waited until 2 o'clock in the afternoon there for the next bar to come in, that would have been a nice correction and a nice entry at the time. Didn't personally get it, but it's important you look at what's available in these markets and get a picture so you know when you're trading them, you got the potential. Now that yesterday with that, we had a double sort of impact of the pivots there yesterday. It had pushed up at the same time into the daily R1, so it was quite a nice bit of confluence with the two pivots. Anyway, for now, it's a bit in no man's land where it sits at the moment. We have got a bit of data out today. Again, it's the Canadian dollar. Preference for me is to trade it during the US session. I say US session, North American session. So we'll just sit there and wait for that to show its hand. Right, there isn't a lot else there at the moment that I can see. It is a case of being patient, waiting for some of these for this afternoon. Gold pushing up a little bit here. We'll have to have a look at silver, which is slightly off this morning, but gold still, well, yesterday it come off a little bit. It's right into that R4 pivot there. It's not a great deal of surprise that we end with double topping. There'll be sellers coming through. There's so many different things here that's sort of shaping up, but overall it's not so, it's not just rolling over sharply, it's just slow, which suggests that on all of this sort of selling here, potentially there's bigger money. Take it, yeah, I'll take that, thanks. And taking it off the hands of those that are wanting to close out, take their profits. So for now it still looks positive, not necessarily a positive aspect. I've got an entry. It could change as the morning flies moves on. 11 o'clock, post 11 o'clock used to be the time to start looking at gold in the mornings. You can see what happens as it progresses this morning. It's come back nicely to its pivot. It's had that correction over yesterday. That's quite one hell of a correction there at 3 o'clock. And this is the problem with something like this. It does have some big old moves at times. Silver, well, silver, it did push back up again yesterday, but off a fraction this morning. But this could just consolidate around here and get work off its sort of overbought signals. It has double topped on this using these weekly pivots into the R1 there. There is scope at some stage. This could be rolling, pushing on through towards the R2. It hasn't hit the pivot, got a higher probability of running up there than it is coming down there at the moment. It just needs a trigger, and it's not triggering at this stage. It is finding on the short term here, is finding some support, which is good, and that might give it an early entry into something there. But personally, buying near what are tops or whatever else, I've got physical silver, so I'm holding on to that for now. Nearly sold some earlier in the year, and it dropped, so I didn't. And now I've mentioned it, I might sell some. It'll probably drop anyway. For now, it is looking positive there. Other markets, just looking through S&Ps, so equity markets here. Well, they're consolidating, and I think we'll see more of this sort of movement. This winds it up, shows it perfectly, this 4-hourly picture, how choppy it is. We do need to see some more of that US data out there. There is the expectation that rates will be cut next week when the FOMC meet. It's a high probability now. In fact, we'll just have a quick zip and have a look there if this is updating. Let's have a look. Yeah, I need to update this. It's alright, I was having a look yesterday at some numbers in the room afterwards. So December, 87% chance there of being cut at the moment. Right, that'll do. Okay, so well, it's largely priced in there now. There was quite a change since late last month in what was happening there, and with the rates potentially being cut, the market's been flying along. A nice move into its quarterly pivot, of course. Anyway, right, nothing else there. The FTSE then, so consolidation is the general rule there, and this is consolidating on the dailies. Look, it's barely going anywhere. Come down the time frame here. There you go. To me, it's not tradable for now. I mean, you can set parameters to say, well, actually, I'll take it if it starts breaking the highs, pushing through there. Just got to watch out for the fake outs. Needs to be in a positive period. Maybe with the US later, we'll see. DAX, the DAX has changed course a little bit for me at the moment. I was sitting there, look, I've even got my alert still sitting there waiting for it to go. Yesterday didn't go, and it's continued to push up for now. Not really a buyer, but you see how consolidated that was on the short time frame there. Just the sort of thing that to draw people in and then spit them out. When it's like this and not doing what I want it to do, just stand aside. So more sitting on my hands, I'm afraid. Right, I shall leave you there. I wish you a great day's trading. Hopefully things will pick up again this afternoon. Take care. Bye for now.